If you're new here, consider walking over, taking your foot, and absolutely stomping the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It's a relatively new channel. I love tennis. I've been playing my whole life, and I just want to talk about it and make videos about it because I love tennis. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite players to watch play tennis and talk a little bit about the last few years and what's kind of happened to him. We're going to talk about Dominic Thiem. Dominic Thiem is an unbelievable tennis player. Watching him play the game is so much fun because he's got humongous strokes, annihilates the ball, has a GOAT level one-handed backhand.
Oh, he nailed it.
Well, you're not going to see a better putt.
And it's just all around a fun, enjoyable tennis player to watch. I'm a big fan. I don't even have a one-handed backhand, but I'm a fan. But what's happened to him in the last few years? We're going to get into that right now. He had a wrist injury in 2021, took him out for a little bit, and then he started to make his comeback in 2022, played a bunch of tournaments, basically fully recovered, but his results were really, really subpar for his standards. For my standards, they would be incredible, but for Dominic Thiem standards, he lost a lot of first-round matches. I'm checking out some of his results right here. I mean, just went through a streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 first-round losses and then a couple of second-round losses. Picked it up a little bit, started playing better towards the end of 2022, but again, by his standards, really, really difficult results. A few months ago, he started to pick up a little bit of steam, and he had some decent wins. He beat Ben Shelton in Portugal. He beat Gasquet in Monte Carlo, then lost to Rune. He beat, or Rune, however you say that. Lost to Fritz in straight sets. Went 3 sets with Tsitsipas in Madrid. Lost in the third set tiebreak there. He played great there. That had a little bit of hope for me that he was really on the way back. Made the semis of a challenger in Austria. Kind of up and down. He's currently ranked 92. Again, that's would I trade places with him? Absolutely. By his standards, he's a world-class tennis player and was once at the pinnacle of the game. He's a Grand Slam champion, was a consistent top 10 guy. Why has he not been able to bounce back after this injury and kind of pick up right where he left off? You would think that maybe after a few tournaments you would get your groove and just boom, go right back into maybe that top 20-ish form. But, there's few reasons in my very unprofessional and unexpert opinion, because I'm simply a fan of the game and somebody that's played my whole life. Take my opinion with a grain of salt. It's just my opinion. But I think the biggest explanation as to why he has not reclaimed his form is not because there's something wrong with Dominic Thiem or he sucks now, what you hear people online say, or whatever the haters say. I mean, he would still kick my ass 0-0. Not saying much, but he's still a fantastic tennis player. I think the main reason is because the depth in the men's game is so high and so deep that you have got to be at your best week in and week out to be consistently winning and going deep in tournaments. It's why I think guys like the big three, or even the big four, we can include Murray in there. Novak, Roger, Rafa, even Murray, when he was really dominant. The fact that those guys were able to consistently dominate for so long just blows my mind, because on any given day, these guys can beat each other. An example I like to use a lot is if you take a guy that's in the top 50, let's say. Maybe you don't know him. Let's just say it's a player you don't know, but he's top 50 in the world. And you put him to practice with a guy that's, let's say, top 400 or 500 in the world, right? I mean, there's a big rankings discrepancy there. But if you were to watch these two guys play and you didn't know one from the other, you would not be able to tell me which one is ranked in the top 50 and which one is ranked in the top 500. You just would not be able to tell me. These guys hit the ball so well at every level of the pro game, from the challengers, the smaller ITF tournaments, to the top of the game. They can all hit the ball so well. It's insane. One of my favorite things to do is to go to the qualies of pro tournaments, because you get in free typically, and you get to watch guys qualify that are, top 200 or 300 of the world, and it's insane tennis, and a lot of times you're right up close. The depth of the men's game is just to me at an all-time high. I mean, take Struff a month or two ago for an example. Guy loses in qualies of Madrid, an ATP 1000 level Masters event, top tier event, loses in the qualies, gets in as a lucky loser, makes it all the way to the finals, and goes 3 sets with Carlos Alcaraz, who's arguably the best player in the world right now, definitely in the conversation. That is just insane to me. But it's I think it is the biggest description as to why Thiem, maybe has struggled coming back from that injury, because I think it's mental, it's confidence, it's he's getting the match play in, and he does look good to me. I mean, I watched him play today. He lost first round of the French Open in 5 sets. He looked good hitting the ball. It just goes to show the depth of the men's game is just at an insane level. These guys can beat each other on any given day, and I think it makes Rafa, Federer, and Novak and Murray and any of the other guys that have dominated for a while, it's just that much more impressive, because if you're not there mentally and emotionally, physically, man, you're toast. You're gone. And I think that's what's happening to Thiem is he's just lacking the confidence now. He's a great player. He hits the ball super well. There's something I think mentally for him to get that confidence back and that swagger, and to know that, I am Dominic Thiem. I can beat these guys, because he can. There's no doubt he can. He's 30 years old, I think, which is, back in the day you would think, oh, he's about to retire. But nowadays with technology and treatment and modern medicine, guys are playing well into their late 30s. So 30 years old is still very much in the prime of the professional tennis player's window. It's not age. It's not physical. I don't think it's physical at all. He looks super fit and strong. He just needs to get that confidence back, and that is way easier said than done when you're playing at the top of the men's tennis game, because all these guys are just savages, man. They're so good. So take nothing away from Thiem. If you hear some hater or somebody say that, oh, Thiem sucks now, he should retire. You know what? Even if he did decide to retire, the guy's a Grand Slam champion, and he's an incredible tennis player, and he's done things that none of us are ever going to do. So haters are just haters. But can Thiem get back? Yes, I definitely think he can. Will he? I don't know. It just is going to depend on, if he can find that spark and that confidence to get him back. It's easy to sit here and say, oh, he just needs confidence. Well, yeah, that's easy to say, but doing it and getting there is super difficult, because you've got to start pulling out these wins, and then with the wins comes the confidence. But if you don't win, you don't gain confidence. So tennis is a difficult sport. So I'm a big Dominic Thiem fan. I think, he's a fantastic player, and even if he never plays another match, the guy is just an incredible player. I hope he comes back. I love watching him, but that's just my thoughts as I was watching his match today. I thought I'd share maybe what I kind of thought about his current situation. Appreciate it. Catch you guys on the next one.